Colette, predating the formation of Ballou, you had some challenging professional experiences, I know, so say a bit more.
Delicately put.
And how did that influence how you wanted to build the company? Just give us a sense.
Well, I mean, I didn't know I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I remember back in the 90s in New York City, I was in an agency that I was really excited about, actually. They had said many of the things about their culture that I really wanted to be a part of, and the thing that was shocking is once I got there, they didn't follow through on any of that. And I actually remember observing and also being basically attacked publicly. We had an open plan, and I would watch my colleagues get a real dressing down, and I just thought, no one who ever works with me will ever face that. I just remember that moment saying, this can't be the right way. This cannot be, I mean, this company seems to be big and successful and it's making money, but I just don't think this is the way. And little did I know that that actually became the core of what ended up being my company, which is, it comes down to things like no review should be a surprise. No one should walk into a review and find out that they're doing poorly and that should be a surprise. Absolutely not. Like, why do we do that? Why is that accepted? We make sure that they're warned way ahead of time, even off the record, so that they get a chance to improve by the time the review comes along. I still don't understand why, and this is why people dread reviews, because they get these shocks. So it's little things like that you just think about how you want to be treated and what would be the kind thing to do.
And without naming names, can I ask you to reflect on a hiring decision that didn't work out?
Well, there was you, Ollie. That was a disaster.
The bit that we find the companies use the most and has the most impact on their culture is really the reward and recognition aspect. I think a lot of companies just do not give enough credit to reward and recognition, that the amount of reward and recognition they should be doing in the team, because that really drives the emotional well-being of your employees. So what I mean by that is not just top-down reward, monthly awards for doing great things or quarterly awards for doing great things, but even peer-to-peer recognition. How do you enable a culture where people are actually working in a collaborative environment and recognizing each other for helping each other out?
What we found is there's quite a lot of social equity you get from your job, and what you talk about down the pub is what matters to you almost more than another £1,000 on your salary. And so we tend to focus. There's two things. One is that we tend to focus on experiences. Well, another thing I guess that would subscribe to you is what can we give people that they can talk about and they can go away and say, this is how great the company is. This is what I've done this weekend because of them.
And a tiny example of something works.
A tiny example of something that works. So it's like weekends away and things like that, or dinners, things that people wouldn't otherwise necessarily be able to afford, but you're gifting them and you're inviting their friends to take part in it too.
One of the things that we've done recently is unconscious bias training. And so for us, that means that if I'm interviewing somebody and they happen to be a cyclist and they've got a young family and they're about to buy an electric car, then I'm going to get on with them really well. And I'm going to love that person, and it might not be that they're the right person for the job, but I just get on with them and I love them, so I'm going to get the job. Is that the right thing to do? Because I get on with them? Not necessarily. And so a lot of what unconscious bias training is to be conscious of your bias and to go, okay, I know I like this person because of these reasons, so that you're consciously making that decision. And that's crucial, because you need some disruptors in the workforce as well. You need some people that are different, have the same values, but you do need some disruptors to change things up. Otherwise, you'll be the same as you have been for the last 10 years.
And these guidelines for how to embed culture, to think more deeply about the things we're talking about this morning, had some of those things been introduced, regardless of the CEO thinking they were nonsense, do you think they would have worked?
No. No, because they were orthogonal. Right, so what Brett was talking about, how you embed it, was introduced, but it was just done differently. So if you went to any Solera office anywhere in the world, you would see on the wall somewhere 80-20, 90-10, and 30-30. I really won't bore you with it, but that's how it was done. And everybody knew the vernacular, and everybody lived it. And then little new things would come up. So he would introduce one year 3 Fs. And everyone would know what that is. And then the next year he would introduce 3 H's, and everyone would know what that is. And that's how the culture was embedded, and that's what you were part of.
Okay, quite strongly. So we'll get you to come back. Sorry?
Just one question. To me, it sounds like a perfectly consistent embedded culture. It's not a nice.
Not everyone's cup of tea.
Why does culture have to be positive? I mean, culture is about consistency.
It doesn't, and this is the proof.
It's just that it's everyone understands what rules are, everyone lives by them, and that's fine, right?
Absolutely. No, I was having there, but I'm coming for a conclusion. Something you're still wrestling with, Alistair. You're projecting to your next role if you're not sitting on a beach?
I think the list of things I'm still wrestling with on culture is more than we'll ever have time for this morning. I'm just not sure it's a thing that you crack. I think when you go into a new leadership role, if you're in a position to define the culture, you have to go in with the mindset that you know it's important and you're going to find a way. And if you go into a place like I did, where it's a strong culture that's predefined, you have to go in with a very open mind and an awfully constructive attitude.
No, really. So, right, so super quickly, Solera, if you may.
Yeah, so we have just opened our office in Sheffield, so I think for us, as we grow the business, one of the challenges will be that, and I'm not sure how we will actually do this, is how do we, as we grow the business in multiple locations, how do we keep that strong culture that we have in our London office? And I read about companies like WordPress and Buffer. They have people in 40 countries and they have an amazing culture. I don't know how the hell they do it, but I hope we can as well.
So one thing I'd say is that your culture is not going to be the same when you're 5 people to when you're 500. Culture evolves, allow it to evolve, because I think it's the biggest challenge. We talk about protecting our culture, but it's not going to be the same in 5 years' time. It can't be. When you're twice the size, can your culture be the same? Let it evolve, bring some people into differential, because I think that's the challenge, is how do you disrupt your own culture for the greater good?
Okay. Well, I'm hoping to persuade each and every one of the panel to stay for a coffee afterwards. So before I hand back to Brett, please join me in saying a big thank you to Solera.